This is Texans TV.
A legend leaves, a new face in the wide receivers core, and we're talking about the offensive line. The run game gets the special treatment here on Texans 360.
We are ready to rock in Houston. Rock and roll.
You already know what time it is, man.
Touchdown, Texans.
I got cleats for all y'all.
He's in. Rock and roll.
That's when you think you've seen it all. There's always something else.
Let's go. They go home. They go home.
Hello there, friends, and welcome into Texans 360. This is going to be a fun show because you got two dudes in gray suits. Me, Drew Doherty, and my good friend, John Harris. Great to be with you. How you been?
You look great, I'll tell you that.
No, you look great. We're like that Spider-Man meme of the two dudes looking at each other and pointing at each other. But on this show, we're going to catch up with a rookie running back in Damien Pierce. Plus, we've got a coach's academy, and we got to talk about the offensive line. But, John, we start with news of the week here in Texans land, and a legend has retired. Romeo Crennel, who most notably was a defensive coordinator in Houston, but most notably in his career, won some Super Bowl rings with the Giants, with the Patriots, and just a sage mind, not just on the defensive side of the ball, but really in general. He has called it quits. He's retired.
Love that man.
I know.
He was such a gentle soul on the outside, but inside burned the fire of a competitive guy. He got after it. And Mark and I talked about this on radio one of the nights last week. Dom Capers, then you had Wade Phillips, you had Romeo Crennel, now you got Lovie Smith.
Some defensive
Four
minds,
of the brightest minds in the history of the NFL rolling through the city of Houston. We were lucky with Romeo Crennel. I mean, he's just an absolute gentleman, but just a gentle soul who we love being around and love talking with him about ball or just his family. And he was so great. I went one time by his office on a Friday night before a Sunday game, and I could hear Sinatra blaring from the room. And I look inside, I'm like, what's going on? I look in there, and Romeo's got all his play cards all over the table, figuring things out for Sunday with Sinatra blaring about 8 o'clock at night. I just thought it was the coolest thing ever. He was great. I'm going to miss him, but he's left an indelible imprint on this organization and the NFL as a whole.
Yeah, it's fun listening to J.J. Watt talk about him. J.J. was very consistent over the years, saying, I was lucky to get to play for Wade Phillips and Romeo Crennel. And it's funny, in 2014, January, he gets hired. And at the Senior Bowl, that was kind of his first appearance in public. And I remember seeing a pretty prominent national media guy say, what are they going to do with J.J. Watt in this defense? How's that going to fit? I don't think this is going to work. And what happened? Well, J.J. Watt had a comet-like season and was phenomenal in 2014. All right, turning pages. We got to get out to OTAs, and we got to hear from a guy on the offensive side of the ball who might figure heavily into the game plan this year. It's Philip Dorsett, a wide receiver, and he went one-on-one with DP Sidhu.
It's the Deep Slant 101 presented by Xfinity. Joining me, wide receiver Philip Dorsett. Year 8, correct?
8, yes. It's been a while. I mean, I remember my rookie year, and it's flown by. I would say that.
I'll say last year you joined the Texans. You were with 3 teams last year. What a whirlwind. Seattle, Jacksonville, the Texans. You were really starting to pick up steam there at the end. How do you hope to build on that here this offseason?
Yeah, just like you said, just building. Just continue to just grow, get better as a player, get better as a person, and just stack the days, go day by day, just worrying about focusing on just getting better at what I can do and just keep grinding.
We heard from Andre Johnson a little while ago. He said that just watching Davis Mills from last year to this year, he's seen an improvement. What have you seen from the quarterback, and how has the chemistry come along with you two?
I would say it's definitely improved. I mean, he's getting a lot more comfortable out there each day. He's growing as a leader, and he's getting better as a player too, obviously. And I mean, we're learning each other, and we're just coming out here every day. We're just trying to get better and put a better product on the field this year.
You've got Pep Hamilton. He was on staff last year. So what's it like being in his offense? I mean, I see a lot of misdirections. You run around. Looks like you're having a lot of fun out there with your role. So what's it been like making that adjustment?
I would say he lets his players play. I mean, he has his playmakers. He knows how to use them. There's no square peg round hole. I mean, he knows what guys do well, and he tries to exploit that. So it's going to be fun. I can't wait to just go out there and just play.
All right, speaking of what guys do well, Lovie Smith said he thinks you're the fastest guy on this team. Is that true?
I mean, everybody's competitive. I mean, obviously, you ask all the fast guys, they're going to say it's them. So obviously, I'm going to say it's me. But I would say it's a toss-up between me and Brandon.
Oh, okay. I like that. You're so humble about it. I mean, I've seen you out here. You're pretty fast. How do you work on your speed? Were you like a track star or something back in the day? And how do you, I mean, it's year 8. How do you keep up with some of these younger guys?
I get on the track every offseason. You got to get on the track. I mean, if you get on the track, you stay in shape, make sure you running your 400s, your 300s, 200s, and your sprint work. It'll stay there until Father Time tells it to go. But I feel good. I feel like I'm in the best shape of my life right now, and I feel like I'm still getting faster.
All right, I'm intrigued by this off-season workout. So you're out here doing OTAs. So when there's no OTAs in session or no training camp, what are you doing out there? Give me like a schedule of what your day looks like training.
Okay, so I'll wake up, obviously eat breakfast, or sometimes I'll go and run before I eat breakfast, and then after I run, I'll come in, I'll lift, and I'll work on the body, and then spend time with the wife for the rest of the day, I would say.
And when does the track work come in? When are you doing your sprints?
Oh, early in the morning. Before I lift, I would say I like to run first. So I'll get on the track probably twice a week, and one day on the football field, and I would say I'm doing more running too. But I mean, most of my stuff is just running because that's what we do. We run all day, so just got to stay in shape.
Got to stay in shape. All right, Phil, a pleasure to see you. Best of luck here the rest of the off season, and look forward to seeing you in camp.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Good stuff there from DP and Philip Dorsett. John, okay, OTAs wrap up, and then you've got the mini camp coming up this week. Yeah. They're all sort of jumbled together and sort of the same thing, and it's practice. Yeah, it's just practice, but they're not hitting as hard. But what'd you see? What'd you learn? What'd you pick up from this 3-week period?
I think one of the things that stood out to me was just not so much the tempo, but the speed with which things are happening. And that can happen 2 ways, and for 2 reasons. One, you have faster guys. Mm-hmm. Secondly, you're processing things faster. And a lot of times you think about that with a quarterback, but that happens at every position. In this defense that you're now the second year into with Lovie Smith, guys know the defense. They can show their disguises longer because they know what their landmarks are when they have to go from this disguise into this particular scheme. So it feels like things are happening faster. Guys overall, the team's speed, it appears to be faster. So from that perspective, to win in this league, we know it's a space game. You got to be able to run. You got to be able to get to plays, to be able to make plays, to pick the ball off, to make that catch. It feels like this team is that much faster than it's been the last couple of years in particular.
Now, we're going to talk about the offensive line a little bit later on in the show, but let's think about surprises or guys who kind of turned your head. We heard from Philip Dorsett earlier. Yeah. I know we were kind of both pretty high on him coming into the offseason. Anybody stick out to you that maybe you didn't really see that coming?
I think with Philip Dorsett, I'm going to start there because that's a guy that, we talked about all offseason, Cooks and Nico, Collins and Cooks, and, then Mechie gets drafted. And then you get out the OTAs, and, Four's moving around really well. Oh, yeah, that's Philip Dorsett. You sort of forget because he got injured at the end of the year, and he wasn't here for a long time anyways. Right. And you forget that he was actually here. So from the players to me that stood out, that just grabbed your attention every single day, it's a rookie, Jalen Petrie. Mm-hmm. Every single day, the rookie out of Stafford, Texas, out of Baylor University was making a play. Whether it was picking passes off, knocking passes away, just being in the right position, the explosiveness with which he plays, the fearlessness with which you see on the field. I hope that translates to Sundays, because if it does translate to Sundays, the secondary is going to be that much better for his presence.
Yeah, what he did in the Big 12 is kind of what he's doing right now. Right. Now it's May, so calm down. Exactly. We're not promising anything, but it's like you said, it's very, very promising to see him flourish the way he's flourishing right now.
Yeah, and like you said, it is May, it's shorts and t-shirts, but the things that he's doing on the field, those are things you can replicate, whether it's shorts and t-shirts or whether it's pads in a game on Sunday. It's just you're going to have to do it against different players week in and week out.
And you're not seeing other guys do it. All right, we got to talk about that offensive line like we discussed, and we also want to hear from another rookie on the offensive side of the ball. Don't you go anywhere. This is Texans 360. Welcome back. Texans 360 rolls on. John Harris, Drew Doherty here inside NRG Stadium. Hey, Damien Pierce out of Florida. Really fun interview, but really fun to watch on the field what he did in Gainesville for the Gators. Runs hard, runs aggressively with violence, but he's also excellent in pass protection, and he can catch the ball out of the backfield, make some guys mix. He's theoretically a back that can do it all, right?
You'd like to think that. And he doesn't have to be that as a rookie. But I know you're a child of the 80s. You remember the Weeble Wobbles, right?
Pigs, yeah.
You can knock him, but you can't knock him down. That's kind of the way Damien Pierce is. You can hit him with all you've got. But the way that he's built and how thick he is, his contact balance, as you would say, is just outstanding. And I've seen guys just haul off and hit him with everything they have and just bounce off him. And he continues on his run. That's what I think Damien Pierce brings, the fact that your play may not be blocked perfectly, and a linebacker might be coming clean, but Damien Pierce absorbs the blow, knocks off that tackle, and then makes 4 or 5 yards. And I think that's something the Texans have lacked at the running back position, the ability, when things aren't blocked perfectly, to still go make something positive happen. And hopefully that's what Damien Pierce brings.
Yes, and hopefully we're going to get to hear more from him throughout this offseason and into the season and see good things on the football field. We are going to rewind to that, and we're going to go back to draft weekend and a nice little interview we got with Damien Pierce.
All right, joining me now, running back Damien Pierce, the newest Houston Texans. It didn't have to wait long, Damien. That Texans jumped right in there with the second pick. They turned in that pick so fast. So what is your reaction to becoming a Houston Texan today?
Man, first and foremost, I just want to say thank you, God, because I was so nervous yesterday. Like yesterday, I was so nervous, man. But today, I was off the board early, so it's just a blessing. I'm stoked, man. I'm just ready to play football and put some pads on, man.
Yeah, right now you're not wearing a shirt. You do seem super energetic. And I love that you met with the local media and they asked you, what do you know about Houston? And do you mind telling me what your answer was? Because I thought it was quite funny.
I said, they got pretty house and got pretty girls, so I'm ready to go.
Ready to go. And from your highlight film is tremendous, first of all. It seems like you do everything really well. Pass protection, you're a great inside running back. You didn't have a lot of carries at Florida. So, what do you bring to this Texans run game? It's something that the Texans have really wanted to emphasize over the last few years and have really struggled getting the run game going. What do you bring to the ground game for them?
Whoa, man, I bring energy, first off. I like getting my O-lineman involved. That's the type of runner I am. You can ask any of my O-lines from Little League up until now, man. That's one thing I want to do. I want to have high energy on the football field, especially if we're running the ball and if we're making an emphasis on running the ball. I want to make sure everybody involved, make sure everybody on the same page, and let's go bulldoze our way into the end zone if we have to.
You are such a power back. I mean, we saw you at the NFL Combine, and our sideline analyst and draft specialist, John Harris, he tells his story really well that you showed up to the bench press wearing your UGG slides, and you just announced yourself and you put out 21 reps just like that. So what about this?
It could have been 24 if I had tennis shoes on, because I ain't had no grip.
Next time, tennis shoes. What about this whole draft process for you? Were you surprised it was the Texans? I know they saw you at the Senior Bowl. They liked what they saw. What have your conversations been like throughout this process?
My conversation with the Houston just kind of been like with everybody, man. They really like me. High energy kid. They like the way I run the ball. And it really came down to if I'm on the board, when they're ready to make their pick, kind of, third, fourth round, I'm their guy. And, that would happen today.
You found the end zone a ton last year at Florida, but not a lot of carries. So, what do you hope to bring to this offense this year? Does not getting the ball as many times as you wanted, did that sort of put like a fire under you? How do you sort of view that now as you begin your NFL career?
Oh, man, that's, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. If I wasn't getting a lot of carries, but I was productive in college, let's do the same thing in the NFL, because, nowadays it's running back by committee. So, I got a lot of great guys, sit up on it for the first couple years, learn from, kind of be, kind of have guys who are great mentors, who've been in the position I'm in, guys who got me through that, I'm just ready to play ball with some great guys, man, especially in the running back room. Running backs, we got to stick together, man, I'm just ready to get there, I'm ready to see what the future holds, man.
Well, the Texans fans are excited as well because a lot of people wanted to see a running back get taken, and, they're excited to see you join the Texans as well. So, Damien, welcome to the Texans. Congratulations, and can't wait to see you down here.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you.
Damien, Rex Burkhead, and Marlon Mack and the rest are going to run. Who's going to block for them? We'll talk about it next on Texans 360. What are you eating these days? What's your go-to dish that you cook, that you're cooking?
That I cook? If I'm going to cook, I probably do like a Cajun-style catfish or a blackened salmon with probably like a rice pilaf or a cauliflower bed, some green beans, probably some carrots, some mushrooms, something like that. Right now, you're trying to eat healthy, you're trying to keep your body fat down and get ready for the season because it's going to be a long season.
Sounds good, though. Sounds like a Papados dish. I mean,
yeah, Papados ain't got nothing on me.
Really? Oh, strong words.
You hear that, Papados? You have nothing on me.
All right, let's wrap things up. Would you rather be the mightiest squirrel in the world or the meekest fire-breathing dragon in the world?
That's a tough one. I mean, but I'm all about being mighty, so I'll say the squirrel.
All right, the mighty Titus Howard. The mighty Titus,
that sounds good too.
Did we just coin something?
Hey, we might just made something right here. I'm telling you.
We're back. Drew Doherty, John Harris, Texans 360. Titus Howard, easily one of the best interviews, if not the best, on this current team. Always fun talking with him. Always has been a fun interview, and he's going to figure heavily into what this team does. Slated to go at right tackle. We've seen he can play left tackle. We've seen he can play inside, but it looks like everything, in every one and the spots they're supposed to be, he's your right tackle, and he's going to be a good one.
I hope so. I mean, he looks great in OTAs, just body-wise, looks like he's in shape and ready to go. I know he's had a lot going on. He just became a father for the second time, so there's a lot happening for him right now. But Titus has got that edge. He's got that, and a lot of times plays with that chip on his shoulder. And when he does, boy, he can be really, really good, especially in the run game. Really in the run game. If they can get some of that perimeter blocking at the tackle and tight end spots to really cave in that edge or just control the edge and let the running backs make their decisions, there's an opportunity for this run game to take a big step in 2022.
Well, it's got to. It was dead last in the NFL last year. The Texans, everyone, whether it's Nick Caserio, whether it's Lovie Smith or the players, they've all said, got to run better than we did in 2021. One guy, hopefully helping out in that regard, George Warhop, the offensive line coach. You did a nice event with him, which we're going to see a little bit later on. But Warhop will figure heavily into the success of how things work going forward. What will a George Warhop coached offensive line look like, perhaps, versus other lines?
I don't like using the word angry, but I think it's going to be a group that plays angry together because he will demand that. He will demand football violence. He will demand moving guys off the line of scrimmage, and that there's no half-stepping, as was said many, many years ago in hip-hop. There's no half-stepping. There is going to be full-on violence at the line of scrimmage. Guys are going to be engaged. It's not going to be and I think sometimes the zone running game gets a bad rap for not being physical, but it's more of a horizontal type scheme. I think with George Warhop, it is, we're going to match that dude right there in front of us. 99 DeForest Buckner, I don't care how great he is, we're going to hit him right in the mouth and see how he wants to respond 60 to 65 times in the game. And I think that's the type of offensive line that he will attempt to craft here with Houston Texans.
And coming here to Houston from Jacksonville, like Warhop, is A.J. Cann. That guy has done some things in the NFL, and he's doing some things right now in OTAs and now in the voluntary minicamp.
And I think veteran leadership with A.J., he's been there, done that. He's been around some a really good team in Jacksonville in 2017. He was a part of that team and a big part of that team. And I think on the interior, if there was one thing when people came to me during the offseason and said, what needs to be improved? And I said, look, if you bring Larry Tunsil back, which hoping they will, and Titus, your interior's got to get better. And hopefully A.J. Cann will help that interior get better.
And Kenyon Green as well, the rookie from Texas A&M. Okay, Coach Warhop, Coach Harris, he coached way back in the day. They're coming back after the break for a coaching academy. So don't you move a muscle. This is Texans 360. Back, Texans 360 rolls on. Drew Doherty, John Harris, who used to be a coach. What's the one thing you miss the most about coaching, and the one thing you don't miss at all?
Oh, man, I miss the competitiveness on Friday nights, man. I absolutely love that. I do not miss tangling with the refs. That was never fun.
Oh, the zebras. All right, no zebras in this, but we're going to a coaching academy that we held recently here inside NRG Stadium.
Today, we're back at the Houston Texans Youth and High School Coaching Academy. The purpose of today's event is really to provide value to coaches, to give them every resource, every tool they need to make sure they're ready to go as we get ready to kick off fall football.
When you're going to a clinic, I think you look at trying to find maybe one thing that can help you. If you can find one thing, I think it's good, and in some cases you can find more, it's even better. So just trying to share with them what we do and provide them with any little thing they can take back to help make their programs better.
Play side, backside, head up. And that's going to dictate your footwork because it's like Coach Morhop said, leverage. Horizontal, vertical leverage is the key to success.
You may have a guy that's kind of just an average player. Don't quit on that guy. Don't quit on that guy. Feed that guy, right? Because it's not really about the football. It's what he gets out of football when he's done moving on. There's several people that poured into me when I was a young coach. I think it's a duty for every coach, right? When you have some years on you and you have some experience to share that. And somebody's going to glean something out of that, and that may help them moving forward.
So when you're doing tempo offense, the two most important people in offense are the quarterback and the center. Okay? They're the ones that, as the rest of the offense goes, as they go.
6-inch step, and I started focusing on the understanding first. Got them aggressive and confident, and then throughout the year we started working on the footwork, and then we evolved offensively.
The Race Seals Equipment Grant is tooled and wrapped around providing resources for youth programs and high school programs to subsidize to make sure they have everything they need to make sure that their playing services are great, their equipment and resources are great, and they have all the tools they need to make sure they make it through the season.
Football is the lifeblood of the state, and it's something that we need to do everything we can to keep it going.
No more Texans 360 this week. We're all out of time. Thank you, John, for joining us, and thank you all for watching. Mini camp is this week coming up, but it's basically just more practice like we've been showing you over the last few weeks, and we'll have much, much more from that. For the guys who put this together, like Tyler Marcotte, Tyler Suddarth, Jared Huff, Jonathan Johnson, and everybody else, we will see you next time. Thanks for watching. Subscribe to our channel and ring the bell to know when we post new content.